High-output work often fails because we treat our bodies like machines with infinite uptime. When you push through this level of exhaustion, you are attempting to override a biological system that is already signaling a shutdown. Human biology and psychology run on predictable rhythms. Relying on pure willpower to solve complex problems is like running heavy, resource-intensive code on an outdated processor. The system eventually throttles its own performance to survive. This chart tracks the biological tax of unbroken focus. Beyond a certain window, output quality drops while the error rate climbs. This state triggers a search for low-effort rewards, which is why mental fatigue leads directly to mindless scrolling and poor decision-making. Achieving consistent, long-term results requires a shift in how we manage daily inputs. By aligning work habits with biological constraints, we can stabilize the output of our internal operating system. Managing cognitive load starts with acknowledging that the brain has a hard limit on sustained attention. Our brainwave activity follows these ultradian rhythms, cycles lasting roughly 90 to 120 minutes. We move from a peak of high alertness into a metabolic trough, characterized by mental fatigue. A 90-minute sprint synchronizes work with these peaks. You commit to 90 minutes of deep focus, but once that cycle ends, a 10 to 20-minute break becomes mandatory to clear metabolic waste and reset for the next peak. You can accelerate this reset through visual distance shifting. Staring at a screen causes your eyes to converge, which maintains a low-level stress response. Looking at an object 20 feet away relaxes the ciliary muscles, signaling to the nervous system that it can transition into a resting state. These intervals function as biological maintenance. They prevent the compounding of cognitive fatigue, ensuring that the final hour of your day remains as productive as the first. Physical energy levels also dictate cognitive performance. The common afternoon slump is frequently the result of how the body processes glucose rather than a simple lack of sleep. This chart shows the impact of a high-carbohydrate meal. Blood glucose levels spike, triggering a heavy insulin response that causes levels to drop into this crash zone, leading to sudden lethargy and brain fog. A 10-minute walk after eating creates a glucose sink. Leg muscle contractions consume the excess sugar in the blood, smoothing out the curve and preventing the insulin-driven crash that usually kills afternoon productivity. Spacing protein intake across 4 meals further stabilizes this system. Consistent amino acid delivery maximizes muscle protein synthesis and maintains satiety, which reduces the mental energy required to stick to a nutritional plan. Managing these blood sugar and amino acid timings ensures the body provides a steady, reliable stream of fuel for mental tasks, rather than a series of volatile spikes and crashes. This systematic approach to biology creates the foundation for long-term financial and professional growth. Stable energy allows for consistent execution needed to build complex skills or manage a portfolio. The brain automates repeated behaviors through myelination, a process where neural pathways are insulated to make signals travel faster. This uses less energy, effectively turning difficult tasks into automated subroutines. You can engineer this through friction inversion. If you automate an investment to trigger the moment you are paid, you remove the willpower tax required to save. You make the right choice the default choice. The math of compounding applies to habits as much as capital. This formula shows how a 1% daily improvement in a skill, like coding or writing, yields a 37 times improvement over a single year once the exponential curve kicks in. Mastery and financial growth are the mathematical outcomes of these automated systems. When the right behaviors require zero willpower, the results follow a predictable trajectory. Maintaining a high-performance system requires a cooling protocol. Without deliberate recovery, the physiological stress of intense focus eventually causes structural burnout. Your autonomic nervous system moves between 2 states, the sympathetic for focus and the parasympathetic for recovery. Staying locked in the sympathetic state causes dopamine receptors to desensitize and cortisol to remain elevated. This combination impairs creativity and makes it harder to regulate energy. To force a transition into recovery, use the physiological sigh. Take 2 sharp inhales, followed by 1 long, slow exhale. This mechanical action offloads carbon dioxide and slows the heart rate, providing an immediate reset to the nervous system. Long-term recovery depends on protecting the first and last hour of the day. Keeping these windows free from high dopamine activities like email or social media preserves your circadian rhythm, which dictates the quality of your sleep and next-day focus. High performance is the result of an algorithmic equation. When you align your daily inputs with human biology, the compounding of your skills and assets becomes a structural certainty.